Thank you for tuning in on Generation Passion Show with your girl Ziggonometry, Ziggy. Stay tuned in. Coming up next, actor Smurf Brown, who will be Nick Ashford, and also actor Clarissa Roman, who will be Scott Reagan, and myself, Zivia Walker, who will be Valerie Simpson from Motown Records. Stay tuned in. You don't want to miss this one. All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning in on Generation Passion Show with your girl Ziggonometry. I'm so excited. I have two talented actors, and you all might be familiar with one. She is back, Clarissa Roman. Woo woo.
Yes, hello. Thank you for having me back.
Hey, welcome back, and thank you for coming back on the show. And I'm also excited to have a special new guest, Smurf Brown.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, welcome to the show. Y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Just to fill y'all in, the two actors I just introduced, we're currently working on a play right now called Sunny in Blue, written by Donna Holloway and directed by John Michael Manley. So y'all, if y'all want to see the play, we've been working really hard on it. It's actually based on the story of Tammy Terrell, and the story is told through her singing partner and friend, Marvin Gaye. And y'all, we've been really it's been so much going on because, we been through the storm with Beryl, and it's been a lot. Like, y'all, can y'all testify to that? Like, what's your experience been like trying to get to rehearsal and prepare for the play Sunny in Blue? You had to take that deep breath. I know that's right. Okay.
It's been intense, dealing with the power going out and the streets being flooded and all the debris from the hurricane, all the streets being closed if they weren't already flooded. It's been intense, but, we still tried very hard to make it work. And, of course, on those days when we weren't rehearsing, I know a lot of us are still going over our lines to make sure that we were still able to stay in character, because we missed pretty much 4 days out of the week.
Yeah.
I thought it was more. I thought it was like close to a week, like, because we finished the end of the week, right? Then we flashed that Friday or something like that, and then we were supposed to come back with Monday. And we didn't ever make Monday. Okay, so you're right. It was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That is 4 days. Did we come back Friday?
Yes.
Came back on Friday.
Oh, wow. Why? It felt like it was longer than that. But you're right. It was 4 days.
Yeah, it was a full week of rehearsal that we missed.
Yeah, the full week of the rehearsal, that Monday through Friday, was like, Thursday.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, okay. I think that Tuesday, because like everybody's service for their cell phones was going in and out. I drove down to rehearsal that Tuesday after the storm.
Oh yeah, and we saw your text.
Yeah, and then they told me that they were closing the center early, and I was just like, oh, okay. So then I texted everybody, and then they got back to me, the director, that's like, oh yeah, the centers are shut down and there's still other places without power, so we just kind of have to wait. We have to wait it out. And I was just like, oh, okay. So yeah, but everybody's been really committed to just making sure that we are getting all our lines down, all our blocking, and not letting the storm or the lack of power or flooding or anything stop us. So wherever we're at, whenever we can get rehearsals in, whether we're together or apart, everybody's been really committed to making sure that this is a really, really good show, and it goes great.
Definitely.
We said the same thing. Yeah. Well, on a good note, the cool, exciting part about it is after the darkness and storm, there is a brighter day. And we are so excited for y'all to come see the play Sunny in Blue. I do want to ask you a couple questions. Smurf, how did you get into acting?
It fell into my lap because I definitely did not go to school As far as like college for acting, I went to school for finance, but I was on a podcast with my lawn brother and my best friend, and somebody heard me from Georgia, and they were like, "Hey, you have a funny voice. Do you want to like voice a kid in a cartoon?" I was just like, "Sure." Like, I'll try. Like, I haven't been in a play since like elementary school. Like, and for most of those, you just kind of stand around. So I was like, I haven't really acted in anything. But I took them up on the offer, and when I read the script, I was like, oh, this is really fun. I like this. So like, I started looking into more voiceover stuff. So like, most of my background is in voiceover, and it wasn't until really the beginning of this year where I was just like, okay, I really want to start doing plays and do on camera. So I think February of this year, 2024, I went to my very first play audition, and I got cast in a play called Medusa by Kevo. And then after that play ended, I think it was like maybe a week or two, the Alliance Theater held like auditions for actors for like all the theaters in Houston. And I went and I did my monologue. I didn't even finish my second one, and they called time. I was just like, okay, thank you. Just for me to get the experience. And John Michael Manley was there, and he saw me, and as I was walking out, I got an alert on my phone for an email, and it was just a link to New Era Theater Troupe. And I was just like, oh, okay, let me look on here. And like, everything looked really cool, and I just responded back and just said, I'd love to get the chance to work together. And then I think that was like on a Sunday. I think that Tuesday, the assistant director Brittany called and told me about Sunny and Blue, and told me about Nick Ashford, and they got to know a little bit more about me, just about my personality and everything. And then from there, I think they called me on Tuesday, then they called me on Friday and were like, hey, we're going to have rehearsals at 7 p.m. Can you make it? And I was like, yeah, I had some stuff, and I moved it around, and I went to the table read, and yeah, that's history.
Very interesting. Wow. From financing to plays to, wow, now here's Sunny and Blue.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. So from your experience through working through those projects, what has been the most challenging part about it as far as the acting process?
Coming from voiceover, the biggest thing was learning how to use like my facial expressions more, and using my body more than I would behind the microphone. Because in the microphone, right now I'm in my booth, I'm in a closet. There's only so much moving around I can do. And you do use your body for like animation and video games and stuff, but with theater and like on camera and stuff, it's way different. So like knowing blocking, trying to understand, okay, where am I in relation to everybody else that's on stage, and just the timing of like, okay, when are you coming out, and not having the lines in front of you, but having to have everything memorized was definitely something different. It's been fun though. It's been a lot of fun because I like the challenge. But that's been something that I've really been trying to make sure that I get right, is using my whole body, using my facial expressions, and just making sure that my lines are memorized, and it still sounds very genuine and authentic and true. It doesn't sound anything that's like fake when I'm delivering the lines. Just merging everything together. Some of the stuff from the voiceover, as far as like the inflections and the emotion that I'm putting into my voice, but just like merging that with the rest of my body. That's been something that I've really been trying to get down.
Wow, that's very interesting. That makes sense. Like, some people might not think about how much it takes as far as the physical part of it, the physicality, as far as doing voiceover. We're just used to just hearing it and listening, whether it's over a radio or a commercial, but we don't realize what the actor is doing behind the scene on that microphone while recording. Wow, that's very interesting.
Yeah, I've definitely had sessions where I've walked out the booth and I'm like, my shirt is soaked from sweat. Like, no lie. Like, I had it was a project I was in, and I had like a 2.5 hour audition, and I was yelling on the mic because the character was like a 14-year-old kid that would bounce off the walls. So I'm yelling and jumping and everything in this little confined space.
Wow.
So it's really physical. So like anybody that gets into acting, I used to say, try to get some form of cardio in,
right?
Just to have some stamina.
That's so true.
You're going to be moving around a lot.
Okay, that's so true. I know I had experience where I didn't work out for, I was going to say a month, but it was a few months. And I went to rehearsal and it was all physical. Like I had to like creep and crawl and walk really slow. And then by the time I got to like the end of the stage, I was like, wait a minute, like I need to work out.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot. It does. Let's take a little bit about you as Nick. Oh my gosh, you're playing Nick Ashford from Motown Records. Whoa. Now, Nick, in Sunny and Blue,
yes.
How has it been working for Motown Records and writing for the most legendary artists there is, such as Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell?
It's been amazing. It's definitely been a journey. It's been its ups and downs, but it's at the end of the day, when you see like the finished song and you hear Marvin and Tammy singing the words that me and Valerie came up with, it makes you feel good. It's a good feeling, because you had a part in touching people's souls. Music touches people's souls, so having a part in that has been great. And they do the words and the melodies justice for what me and Valerie come up with.
Awesome. And yes, and Valerie, such as myself, I'm assuming you're referring to me because you didn't write the songs by yourself.
No. The words I came up with, but Valerie, you always come up with the melodies, and it just is a perfect merger. And it just works together so well, and we work together so well as far as our chemistry, and it just meshes like peanut butter and jelly. So
yeah, that's a good way to put it. And it just happens so naturally. It's like we met in church, I was playing the piano, you walked in looking for some food, and it was just, who would have thought we'll be like working for Motown Records, writing hit songs for James Brown, David Ruffin, Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, like all the greatest.
God works in mysterious ways. We're in the right place at the right time. So
exactly. And Clarissa, you still there? Clarissa is playing. Clarissa Roman is playing Scott Regan.
Yes.
MC.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how has that been for you? How has that been, Scott, far as your experience working for Motown Records? And see, a lot of people might not know you're not just an MC. So can you elaborate a little bit about what your experience is and what do you do when you're not just on the stage, for behind the scenes as well?
Well, a lot of the stuff that I have to do is more than being the ceremony master, as you so delicately put it. I am also in charge of getting to know the singers in a more personal level, I have to be able to know what questions to ask them, how they are as people, what sort of feel they will have when they're on stage in front of an audience. So there comes a bit of a personal touch to each singer that I speak with, unlike most others who are a bit hands-off, of course.
Wow. That's very interesting. Very interesting. And you introduced Miss Tammy Terrell. What is it like seeing Tammy Terrell? Because you see her at her very prime. You know, you introduce her to the world. So has that experience been like for you?
She has a freshness to her, a kind of light that most people who have been in the business for too long don't exactly have. If you see it so much, you kind of lose the interest in seeing it further. But Tammy is never like that. Everything is new to her, no matter how many times she sees it. And every reaction she gives is as pure as the last. It's a welcome change.
Wow, yes, she is. She does have a pure hearted innocence to her. I mean, because she's young.
Yes.
You know, she's young.
Quite young.
Right, and she's around all these adult men. But, and I'm referring to Mr. James Brown and David Ruffin. David Ruffin, y'all, and James Brown will also be featured in the play Sunny and Blue, y'all. To plug it in, come check out the play. It'll be here in Houston, Texas. And if you want more information, you can go to the website New Theater Era Troupe, TROUPE.com. And if you get your tickets now, guess what? It's only $20. But if you wait until Wednesday, you want to tell them what's going to happen, Nick, if they wait until Wednesday?
The price is going to rise.
So it's going to rise like the charts.
Yeah. If you want to save some money, definitely go ahead and get your tickets now before, I believe, the 18th is when the ticket prices go up. So I would, save your money, grab your tickets now, and come out and enjoy an amazing show, amazing story with amazing artists that, we all know and love. And if you aren't that familiar with them, then you're going to learn something and learn something about songs that you've definitely heard that me and Valerie have written before that are iconic at this point.
I wanted to ask you, Nick, we've wrote so many songs together. Have you had to guess how many songs we've written? Like an estimation?
Oh, I wouldn't know. I know we've written so many and thrown so many away. It's hard to pinpoint. It have to be hundreds or thousands.
Hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands.
Exactly.
We're writing all day, every day, and then whatever we don't like doesn't make it out. The chart toppers you've heard, obviously, and there's a good number of those, but as far as what we've written, it's probably countless.
And not to mention, we would write 3 songs in 3 hours. Like that was our job. Like that was it. Just work. And in that amount of time, we've written a lot of songs. And as you can recall, Mr. Gordy did not agree with most of those songs. Actually, the songs that are the top charting songs are the ones he did not agree with. But we stood our ground. We was like, okay.
When you're really passionate about something, you definitely want to fight for it. So.
That is so true. And Clarissa, how has it been working with us, with Nick and myself?
Always a delight to see two
Scott
lovebirds. Yes. Always a delight to see 2 lovebirds fighting so strongly with one another. You make us money, so we're happy about that.
Exactly. Well, you sound like Mr. Gordy. That's something he was saying. That's like,
well, I'm glad we're on the same side. Let's just say that.
Okay. Look, we still working for him, so I don't have nothing bad about to say. Ain't no mountain high enough.
Yes.
Thank y'all so much for taking out this time to do this interview. It's been marvelous with Scott, Reagan. Thank you so much. And Nick, of course, thank you for doing this interview. I'm sure after we get offline, we're going to be writing a song.
Like always.
Like always. It never stops.
Bouncing around in this head of mine and melodies in that head of yours. So.
Yes, and that's how we do it. That's how we create magic. So thank y'all again for tuning in. The play is called Sunny and Blue. And the website where you can sign up and get the tickets is New Era Theater Troupe.com. And if you don't want to buy the tickets online, you can pay at the door. But again, it will go up $10 more. So it's $20 online until Wednesday. The show is opening this Friday, which is July the 19th. And it'll be Saturday the 20th at the same time, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. And then Sunday the 21st, that will be at 6 p.m. Thank you. 6 p.m. Thank you so much, Scott, Reagan. And thank you, Nick, of course.
Of course, anytime.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Thank y'all for being a part of Generation Patient Show. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for tuning in on Generation Passion Show with your girl Ziggonometry, Ziggy.